You could say, I'm blaspheming because I said, here's another I am the Son of God. Now see, the Christian doesn't understand the impact because, oh, we're all sons of God, we're all the children of God, and God is the Father of all mankind. To the Jew, no, 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 no. The Son of God, Psalm 2, yet have I set my Son as King. That's HaMashiach, the Christ, the Messiah, the Son, the one in Proverbs. What is his name and what is the name of his son? The one that Isaiah foretold that a son would be given, a child would be born. The Son was deity, partaking of the nature of the Father. He says, I could be called God, I be called the Son of God, because the Son of God partakes of the deity of God. Don't be so shook up. Don't be so upset. There are senses in which that word can be stretched in your own law. Turn over to chapter 11, verse 25. I see we're not going to be able to get through all of these. Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. Charles Taz Russell couldn't claim that. He's dead. Now, you know what happened to Mary Baker Eddy when she died? Remember she said there's no death? After she died, they put her in that carriage and drove around 3 days in Boston, waiting for her to resurrect herself on the third day. And when she didn't, they buried her with a live phone in her coffin. Knew that Mary would say, get me out of here. When the phone never rang, they finally disconnected it. And she who said there's no death died. Well, Jesus in terms said, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me shall live even if he dies. You said, what is this gobbledygook? There's a dimension of living beyond death, modern translation. And whoever lives and believes in me shall never die. You'll never really die. Do you believe this? She said, yes, Lord, I have believed that you are the Christ, the Son of God, even he who comes into the world. What a great confession of faith. We forget her confession. We make so much of Peter's confession. Here's a woman with her head screwed on. Turn again over to chapter 14 and verse 6. Now, are you getting it? You're getting the sense of how startling and how perhaps some people were getting madder and madder. That's why the opposition to Yeshua grew and grew through his ministry as he made greater and greater claims. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. You can simply, in terms of grammar, I am the way, I am the truth, I am the life. No one comes to the Father but through me. Whoa. No one, not even Moses, would have made such a claim. Philip said to him, Lord, show us the Father, and it is enough for us. Well, you see, Jesus said, if you had known me, you would have known my Father also. From now on, you know him and, underline the next words, have seen him. In other words, all of God the Father that can ever be seen was seen in his Son. Not that the Father is the Son and the Son is the Father, but the Father is invisible, but the Son is the expressed image, the effulgence of the glory of the Father, and in him we see everything we'll ever know about the Father we see in the Son. And that's why Philip said, show us the Father. And Jesus said, have I been with you, and yet you have not come to know me, Philip? He who has seen me has seen the Father. How do you say, show us the Father? These are astounding claims. Let them ring in your ears. This man is claiming something here. Well beyond any idea, oh, well, people see me and see the Lord. No, no, no. We're talking about a much deeper level here. Chapter 15 and verse 1, I am the true vine, my Father is the vine dresser. Revelation chapter 1 Some of these we cannot spend. Oh, I wish we had time to get into them. We have the nativity scene. Oh, we got so much, we don't have time. Turn over to Revelation 1. Let's look into some more of these claims. Verse 17. And when I saw him, this is John's testimony, when he saw Jesus in his exalted and glorified state, I fell at his feet as a dead man. I fainted. And he laid his right hand upon me. How tender. Do not be afraid. I am the first and the last. I am the living one. I was dead, and behold, I am alive forevermore, and I have the keys of death and Hades. Do you understand that when the Jew heard the phrase, the first and the last, that is Yahweh? That is Jehovah. And Jesus said, I am the first and the last. Chapter 22 and verse 16. We're going to do some running here. I love to preach in black churches because they start shouting and saying, go on, go on, go on. White churches, they look at their watch and say, lunch is coming, lunch is coming, lunch is coming. I, Jesus, have sent my angel to testify to you for these things for the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David, the bright morning star. Who would make such a claim? But God manifested in the flesh. Verse 20, I am coming quickly. Race back to the Gospel of John for point 3, the divinity claims. These, in addition to the ones we've already looked at, John chapter 5, very, very important. In John chapter 5, verse 18, verse 17, he answered them, my Father is working until now, and I myself am working. For this cause, therefore, the Jews were seeking all the more to kill him, because he was not only breaking the Sabbath, but he was calling God his own Father, making himself equal with God. The Gentile and the Christian does not understand what's going on here. In the Greek, Jesus is not simply saying, God is my Father, in the same sense as he taught the disciples to pray, Our Father which art in heaven. He's saying, my Father, who is my Father in a unique relationship that no one else participates in. That's why he said, my Father and your Father, my God and your... He never said our Father. He never said our God. His relationship to the Father cannot be paralleled in terms of our relationship to the Father. The sense in which he is the Son of God is so unique. The word monogenes is used. The unique, one-of-a-kind Son of God. That's why Abraham had all these different children. But you see, Isaac was called the only begotten son. You say, well, then he was the only son begotten. What happened to the other sons? They got begat by somebody. Well, the word meant unique. He was the child of the covenant. All he could have, Abraham could have had 100 sons. But there was only one child of the covenant. And Jesus in terms was saying, my Father